non-binary. My pronouns are they, them. Hey, good morning, class. My name is Teacher Roby. I'm going to do a quick introduction before we get started. Here's my teacher picture. Everyone in here will be able to take a picture this year, so I'm excited to see how those come out. I am non-binary. My pronouns are they, them. For example, they are a great art teacher. They taught us how to draw a stitch. It is super important to get our pronouns right. If you do make a mistake, I will politely correct you. No worries. That goes for me too. So if I ever get your name or pronouns wrong, please correct me every single time. I am from Brooklyn, New York. I graduated high school in 2012. There's me when I was younger. I then went on to graduate from Rutgers Camden, right in the city, in 2017. I also went on to get my graduate degree from Relay Graduate School of Education. I graduated in 2021. I love to travel. I love my family. So this is my family. Raise your hand if you have family or if you feel like you have people in your life who care about you or you care about, and those are the people you consider family. So I hope everybody has somebody in their life that loves and cares about them. That being said, I do have my fur babies. This is my dog Nala and my two cats Arthur and Ariel. This past summer, we went to Italy, so that's super exciting. I want all of you to get an opportunity to travel and do the things that you love to do. Joy is super important in this space. Everyone is welcome. Everyone belongs here. In order to make this a safe space, you all have to believe and trust that you belong here and you are welcome here.
Yo, so we back in here for another edition of F-ya-Motha, and I did a news special and I mentioned that Trump administration is actually considering banning transgenders from owning firearms, and maybe it's for the good, because for the life of me I can't understand why anyone needs to explain to what looks like grammar age children their sexuality and their pronouns, further confusing them. Not only that, you like abusing the English language. This is what I don't understand. This is what bothers me mostly about the whole transgender thing. If it was just you wanted to be called Miss and you're genetically male, I would have no problem, really. It's the whole them, they. I'm a writer. I write books. Calling somebody a them and they, those are plurals, not singulars. So the fact that you're going around telling people to address you, one, they're too young to understand what the fuck non-binary means. Right now, if you're over the age of 13, you know what binary means. It means two. But it looks like from her classroom, I'm judging, she's teaching kids that are like 6, 7, 8 years old, right? First, second, and third graders. I'm assuming, looking at the aesthetics of the room. And while you understand that and you have a college brain, right, this is grooming, because they don't understand that. Not only do they not understand that, they don't understand how you're using literature terms like them or they. And they might be, I don't know what grade they teach that. I didn't get taught that till I was in like 6th grade, right? That was along with the comprehension part of literature that I learned. They're not going to understand like literature because you're confusing them, talking about them, they, she, her, when they know they're looking at a genetically made female. To add some, I have been meaning to mention this when I do these transgender videos. I remember a time when if you called a woman a female, that was actually offensive. Now to make a distinction, because you're talking about a cis woman, you can't really say woman because Bob over here identifies as a woman. So I've noticed in conversations with people, I've had to specify that I'm talking about the sex of a person. And so I have to mention that it's a female, which is odd because in 1998, if you called a woman a female, they kind of like took offense to that. But fast forward almost 30 years later, here we are, right? Never mind. Never let logic get in the way of a good scam. But the fact this woman is gonna confuse grammar age children, like, yeah, I'm not getting on any planes in the next 20 years because the pilots, and Lord forbid I have to get surgery, like the people that are gonna make it through the rungs of these industries, let me just keep it 100. I don't think they're going to be well versed and well educated. I think they're going to be miseducated, and their brains are going to be wired like this. And yeah, I don't want malpractice suits, and I don't want to crash and over 47,000 feet up in the sky. So I think this is where we're headed, unless some administration can get a wrangle hold of this. Because while I believe in inclusion, of all people, I don't believe in the inclusion to the detriment of sanity. Even when you include people, no matter how diverse, things should make sense. When shit stop making sense, that's when I have a problem. And I don't have children now, but when I do, this is why they won't go to public school. They'll be home trained, or I'll get a tutor, or they'll go to a private school, preferably a Catholic one, so they don't have this nonsense going around. Because this shit is starting not to make sense. And it's not me and my old school brain. I had a young nigga tell me, yo, you just old school. No, I'm not. Shit makes sense. The same shit that made sense back in 1929 should make sense in the year 2025. Like, basics don't change. You can't change common sense and logic. And I keep telling people, a man is called a man because he's male, right? A male will actually put on the role of a man. They like to use this whole argument that gender is a social construct, and let's say it is. A man becomes a man, and he once was a male, and he becomes a man because of certain roles that he actually takes on, like providing, provision, being the head of a household, of a family. You got these weird ass women that like to demonize the patriarchy and like to use social constructs, like attribute that to the patriarchy being, I don't know, bad or whatever, when it keeps them safe. But I digress. So shit is starting not to make sense. I don't know who's behind this shit. I don't know if it's drugs in the water. I don't know if it was people bored as fuck during the pandemic. I don't know nothing. What I do know is, yeah, I wouldn't want my kid being raised or taught around somebody like this. Because, simply put, I use traditional values and norms, and I like that. Shit makes sense. I was somewhere and there was some nigga that was like in his fucking late 30s, and I called him he. Motherfucker want to correct me talking about I'm a she. I fuck she's. I wouldn't fuck you. You're not a she. You're a him. We just gonna cut the short shit short. You know what I'm saying? But once again, never let logic get in the way of a good scam. In any event, if y'all like this episode, like, comment, and subscribe, and I'm out.
No one's ready to deal with us.